guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Courtney and I've been a part-time reseller since 2018, and today I have a thrift haul for you guys. It's about half of it is a normal thrift haul and the other half is something I'm not sure if I'm going to regret or not. So we will go ahead and jump in. This thrift haul came from my local like mom and pop honey hole that I talk about all the time. It's not open very often, so when I do catch it, like when I'm available during its open hours, I always try to get over there. They don't have carts, so I typically have to take an IKEA bag in and I fill it up pretty quickly, have to check out and then go in a second time. So that's what happened here again. So I'm going to have technically it's two separate transactions that I'm going to go over with you guys. The first one, I spent $164.86 on 20 items, which breaks down to $8.24 a piece. Up first, we have a few coats, which was the first clothing section that I went through. This was actually my first clothing find, which was really exciting. The brand is one that I haven't actually been picking up a lot lately, unless it's a substantial piece like this. And it is Free People. This is by their Free People 1 line, and I don't know if you can see it, but it says size medium there. So it doesn't zip up or anything. It has a hook and eye closure. There's like 4 of them all the way down, and then at the bottom it has drawstrings, and it is hooded. The back is just the fur. It's a little bit matted. I think I'm going to have to take my little tool that I've told you guys about before to try to get some of that matting out. But overall, it's in decent condition. And I did look up comps on that one, and I want to say it was like 45 to 65 was the general range. All right, up next is a bread and butter brand. This was also a coat. This is J. Jill. It's a size extra large petite. And it is just this nice, I guess I'd say it's a blue pea coat. I do sell J. Jill sometimes. I typically try to stick with like new tags or substantial items. So because that was, you know, a winter coat, I consider that substantial. I did look up comps for that. It wasn't quite as high as I expected it to be, but I want to say it was around like 35 to 45. And I think winter coats, for the heavier ones, this store charges $10, and for the lighter ones, it charges $8. Those first two, I think they considered heavy coats. Up next is a brand I don't typically get a lot of. I know it resells well. It just doesn't excite me. This is Ralph Lauren, but I thought this one was cute. It's let me snap it up to show you guys. Okay, it's just this really pretty quilted pink snap-up jacket, and I know that their quilted stuff can do pretty well. I've sold a few, I think, navy quilted pieces. I've never tried pink, but I thought this was really pretty, really dainty. Would be really good for somebody that lives maybe in the South or Midwest where it doesn't get like cold, but, you know, chilly enough that you have to layer. All right, up next is a brand I don't pick up that much. It's Chico's, but again, this is a substantial piece. So this is, I'd say, like a midweight. It's not lightweight, but it's not heavy. But it is quilted, and it's a size 2, which, let's see, this is a newer piece because it says underneath size 2, it says US size 12-14. Chico's just recently, like in the last, I'd say, year, started doing that where it adds the US size underneath their vanity size. So yeah, we'll see how that does. Okay, so if you remember from one of my previous hauls, I told you guys that I think this store must have received like a massive donation from like an old REI inventory storage unit or something, because they had a ridiculous amount of these like vintage neon hats and brands like Columbia, regular REI brand, Polar Tech, things like that. And they were like $2 a piece when I found them. So I scooped them all up, and they actually have been selling really well. I haven't actually listed those two. That's why I have them handy. But I've sold probably like 80% of the ones I listed. And I think the lowest that I sold it for was $20. Most of them went between like $30 and $40. If I remember, I'll put a few of the sold listings on the screen to show you guys. So when I went in this day, it looks like maybe during that same donation where they got the original vintage hats, they also got a lot of vintage winter hats as well, and they just recently put them all out. So they did, unlike the regular hats, they did mark these up to like $6 to $8. So I may end up regretting spending that and getting these, but they were just too fun to pass up. And the original hats did so well for me, I figured it was worth a shot. So I got literally almost this entire bag is full of them. I think except for like one pair of shoes, and I've got a few pair of gloves as well, but we'll just run through these quickly. This I think is either like a beanie style hat or a neck warmer. It's Nuitags Vintage REI. It's got the REI tag. There it is. But this one's weird. It's like, it doesn't have a top. So my guess is it's like a neck warmer, like you put it around your neck here. But that was a really fun print, so I picked that up. All right. This one is interesting. It's almost like a beret. Like it's got like that little top. It looks like a mushroom. So this one also was vintage REI. All of these are made in USA, Nuitags, and they wanted $9 for this one. We've got another Nuitags vintage REI. This one is so fun. It reminds me of like, is it the hat that the kid in Home Alone wears when he's coming back from the grocery store, where he's like walking down the sidewalk with the two bags and the bags break? Maybe I made that up, but it definitely reminds me either that or like family Christmas vacation, like National Lampoons. Like that's the vibe it's giving me. So my guess is this one will do really well. They were asking $8 for that one. And this is Velcro and the tags are inside. Yeah. I've got a couple of these pairs of gloves. Again, just vintage. It's kind of like an Aztec vibe to these. The brand is Merkley Headgear, Nuitags. Got another goofy looking hat, Nuitags REI. Again, made in USA. This thing, I'm sure this has a name, but I think you wear this when you're going like skiing or something and it's like really, really cold. So again, Nuitags REI. I'm just dying to know where they got all this. Like, was somebody hoarding all of it in a storage unit, or did REI just store a bunch of their old inventory and finally decide to get rid of it? I have no idea. This is another one of those, just like the pink one. I may list those as a set. I'll just have to look it up. And unfortunately, there's not a ton of comps on these. You know, not like identical ones. There are similar comps that I can go by, but I think I'm probably just going to pick my price and list them similar to the regular hats that I listed. I think I listed most of those around like 40 to 50, and then I took offers for like 30 to 40. This is a bucket hat, but it's like a fleece, and it is Nuitags Vintage Columbia. So there's no, they ripped off the original tag, so I don't know what it was originally charged, or what they charged for it. This is a large, extra large. This is a pair of like waterproof Gore-Tex like mittens. And I know Gore-Tex can bring a decent amount, so picked those up. Just a few more in here. I tried to get the more fun prints, but there were some that I picked up that were plain. Like this one is vintage Patagonia Nuitags. Look how old that tag is. It's wild. Yeah, they just called this a flat hat. It's almost like a newspaper boy hat with a mullet. That's what it reminds me of. There's no interior Patagonia tag, but it's a size large. All right, this one is a vintage Columbia. I don't even know what the front is the front and what is the back on this one. It's got a little drawstring. Columbia, made in USA, large, extra large. Another Columbia bucket hat, new with tags, made in USA. Got two more. One more matching pair of those gloves, and one more REI like beret style hat. So that was all of the vintage. I actually think when I went back in the second time, I ended up getting a few more, but from the first trip in, that was all I got. So that could be a massive mistake. You know, the last time I did the vintage hats, I didn't pay up like I did for these. So hopefully I don't lose money on that, but they were fun. They did excite me. You know, I have said a million times, I'm not a vintage seller, but if I find something special that I think will sell, I'll pick it up. And clearly I thought these were special because I paid, you know, around $8 for them each. So other than that, the only other thing I got on the first trip in was this pair of Naote, I guess that's how you say that, N-A-O-T shoes. They only wanted $7 for these, so I picked these up. Got plenty of tread left on them. And then I also, not for reselling, but I really want to get into tennis, and we have a tennis court at my apartment complex, and we have tennis rackets, but we didn't have tennis balls, so they had these for $2.50 each, so I picked those up. And I've told you guys before, but when I get a personal item like that, if it's not like a lot, I will just ring it up with my reselling items and just subtract the quantity of items from my total quantity count, so that when I divide it up, the cost of goods is a little bit more, but technically I get a personal item for free. So that's kind of how I do that. Let me get all this back in the bag and we will go to the second bag. I don't know who I think I am wearing a sweater for a haul. I'm already hot. Oh gosh, I just blew my nose, so now my makeup's gone. Great. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I uploaded a video. I think I've told you guys before, but I'm an event coordinator for my full-time job, and Q4 is like crazy town for me. We have back-to-back events, and this last week I had our annual Thanksgiving lunch that I coordinated, which involves a dessert competition. We had over 40 entries. We had to coordinate judges. We did the tastings. We did the award ceremony to coordinate the blessing. And then on top of that, we also launched our annual like charity, for lack of a better word, like giving back program, where we sponsor foster kids through purchasing holiday gifts for them. So our associates have the option to donate whatever amount we come up with from associate donations. The company matches dollar for dollar, and then I'm a co-lead for the committee, and we take those funds and we divide it up, $150 per foster child, and we get wish lists for the kids. We get these prepaid credit cards and IKEA bags, and we put together these shopper packets, and our associates are the ones that actually sign up to volunteer to shop for them. So we give them their packet, they take the wish list and the card, and they go out and they do the shopping, and then they come back and turn it in. Anyways, it's a huge, amazing program. It is by far my favorite thing that I do for my job. Originally, my degree is in sociology, so I always thought I would go into social work. And when I initially took the job where I work, I worried that I wouldn't feel like I was helping people, because that was really, I didn't know what I wanted to do in a career. I just knew I wanted to help people. And it's interesting because through my job at this company, I really truly think that I'm able to help more people than I ever would have as a social worker. And I'm able to focus on the positive side of giving back and not like getting in the weeds, because I'm like a sponge when it comes to like energy and like good things and bad things. So if I'm around somebody that's just like toxic and negative all the time, I feel toxic and negative. But I'm on the flip side of that, if I'm around somebody that's positive and light and happy and all of that, I feel that way. So I don't think that working in the social work setting would have been a good idea for me and my mental health. So I'm glad that through my current position, I am able to give back in a way that protects me and my mental health, if that makes sense. So this program is just, it's a lot of work, but it is so fulfilling for me to know. Last year we helped over 800 foster kids around Georgia, and this year we are on track to break that record. So it's just incredible to see like our whole company come together, because it's an optional program, but we have like an over 80% participation rate, and the average donation is $100. So we have people that give more and people that give less, but it averages out to about $100 per person. So it's really, really neat. But it is my busy season, and I knew going into creating a YouTube channel that I probably wouldn't be able to be as consistent during this time of the year because I'm just so busy. And it's not like I'm working like crazy overtime. It's just that my days are so packed full that by the time I get home, I am like a vegetable on the couch. Like I can't think my way out of a box because I've just exerted so much mentally, physically, emotionally during the day that I'm like dead by the time I get home. So anyways, I did get to relax this weekend though. That's why I went thrifting, even though I'm not supposed to be thrifting. And I found some great things. So let's jump into the second part of this haul. I went off on a tangent there, but I just wanted you guys to know why I wasn't making videos for over a week. So the second round, I got 13 items. I paid a total of $102.36. So it averages out to $7.87 each. And let me tell you, I found some good stuff. So I will jump right into it. The only dress that I got, normally I get a lot of dresses here, but I only found one this time. It was Diane von Furstenberg, and I don't believe this is her newest label. Her newest one is like more chunky and like the letters are different sizes. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it on the screen, but this isn't the oldest either. So this is a size 14, and it's just like a career shift dress. It's nothing special. The reason, I think if this was like a 0, 2, or 4, I would have left it behind, but because it's a size 14, I thought I'd pick it up. If you're not aware, if you're a new reseller, Diane von Furstenberg is known for her, she does a lot of things, but she's most well known for her wrap dresses. I heard somebody recently say that she was the one that first created that style. So everybody else that does a wrap dress now, you know, technically learned from her. I have not fact checked that, so take that with a grain of salt, but I thought that was neat to learn. And her wrap dresses, if you get like one of her traditional ones, they can go for a decent amount. Like the last one I sold, I want to say I sold for like $55 or somewhere around there. So up next is by Anthropologie, which is just Anthropologie's house brand. It is a size extra small, but I thought this was cute enough to get. It's almost like it's not quite corduroy, but it's like ribbed, similar to corduroy. And it's got these big chunky buttons and cute little bell sleeves. I thought this was perfect for fall. So I went ahead and picked this up, and I know the last time I hauled this location for you guys, I had like a ton of color tag items where they were either 50 or 25% off. I did not find a single color tag, but that being said, the color tag is still the same color as the last time I went, and I cleared out quite a bit of those colors, so it doesn't surprise me that I didn't find any. All right, this is Maeve by Anthropologie, which I've told you guys before, I'm more picky with this brand now. I only pick it up if the tag says by Anthropologie on it, because that means it's a newer piece. This is a size small, and I thought this was really pretty. It's not like substantial in the sense that it's got a lot going for it like structurally, but the print is really pretty and really busy. So I think if this was like a solid color, I definitely would have left it behind, but because it has this really pretty busy print, I thought I'd pick it up. And shirts are only $6 at this place. All right, this is a new to me brand. I touched it and immediately knew it was expensive. Smith & Quinn, size extra small. It feels like a lighter version of, is it J. McLaughlin that has Catalina cloth? It's almost like a sweat wicking material, stretchy, but it's like the J. McLaughlin one is fairly thick and this one's really thin, but this is like an absolutely adorable floral top. It's got little ruffle detail around the collar. It's a V-neck. And I don't know much about this brand because I just briefly looked up comps in the store, but a lot of the like more substantial items for this brand that were listed and sold were like close to $100. So I don't think I'll get that for a blouse. I think I'll probably get like maybe $35 to $45, but when you're paying $6, that's a pretty good turnaround. All right, I don't typically pick up this Theory tag because this is the older tag. The newer one is like double the thickness. with different font, but this is a size medium and this is 100% cashmere. I looked this thing, I held it up to every light I could find in that place to make sure there were no holes, and I did not find any. Does that mean I won't find one under my box lights? No, there's a chance, but I did look over this quite thoroughly to try to make sure that there were no holes. This thing feels like, I mean, I could curl up in this. It is so incredibly soft. So it's striped, it's a cute, like basic. So, and because it's the season, I thought it was worth picking up. All right, this is a piece that was on their like boutique rack. It's Nuitags Packed. They originally had it listed for $20 and I totally lied to y'all. This is the color of the week. So I got one piece that was half off, or at least one. If I forgot this one, I may have forgotten another one. So this retailed for $60, so I paid $10 for it. But once you average my cost of goods, like I said, it's $7.87. So I just got this. It's a basic piece. Packed doesn't sell for a ton, but it sells really quickly. It's got a really good following. It's one of those like organic, natural fabric kind of brands, like really earthy and sustainable. So it's got a pretty good following. So it sells pretty quickly. Up next is Sundance, size small. And at first I thought this was just basic and I would have left it behind, but then you've got these like really, really pretty embroidered sleeves. This reminds me a lot of the Free People ones that have the cuffs like this. It is a waffle knit, size small. It's like a popover. It's got like a, I don't know, quarter of buttons there. So I don't know that this will sell for a ton, maybe like $25, but if it was plain, I would have left it, but because the sleeves are so fancy, I decided to pick it up. All right, I found one Lululemon piece and it was in the men's section. I touched it and immediately knew it was Lululemon. So this is the front. It's kind of like a mock neck, pop over, quarter zip, long sleeve, heathered. What other descriptive words can I use? That's a mouthful. Let's see if I can find the logo. Oh yeah, it's at the top on this one. Kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And then it also says Lululemon on the zipper pull. So anyways, I don't think there's a size in this one, so I'm gonna have to go off measurements, but Lululemon's fairly simple to measure. They have their size chart online for the different types of clothing, and you just measure the armpit to armpit and compare it to the size chart and you've got your size. All right, this I was absolutely stoked about. I think I've talked about this brand in a video before. I think it was a retail arbitrage haul. Anatomy. I have sold this piece not this piece, but this brand a couple times before, and if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a minute, but I think that I sold both of them for over $100, and I currently think I have a pair of Nuitags pants listed for over $100 as well. So I don't think this one will garner over $100. I could be wrong, because it's just like a basic t-shirt essentially. It does have this like mesh material over top of the striped t-shirt, so that's a fun detail. This is 80% viscose, 20% elastic, and it is really stretchy, so that doesn't surprise me. And it is an extra small, so this is different from anything I've ever sold in the brand before. So again, I'm not expecting over $100, but I could be wrong. I could be surprised. And where there's one, there may be two. We found a second one. It's the same exact style, but this one is a size small instead of an extra small, and this is a yellow. So not the greatest color. Not a lot of people can pull off yellow, but because it's a good brand and it was only $6, I definitely wasn't going to leave it behind. All right, I was super excited to see this on the same rack as those two. It's Nation Ltd, which we've talked about recently. It's one of those brands that's unsuspecting because this is just like a basic smocked turtleneck long sleeve shirt. But this probably retailed between $75 and $100. And I will say Nation Ltd is, resale is good, but it doesn't sell quickly, or at least not in my experience. Maybe if you have something like rare or more substantial that you don't see a lot of, it may sell quickly, but so far, not for me. And then right after I found all of those, this little lady popped up. So if you follow me on Instagram, which my Instagram I'll put up here, it's magnolia.thrifter. I did post kind of like a thrift with me updates along the way for my day, and I posted about this one. So, you know, it's just a blouse, but I'm hoping that I'll get somewhere between like $40 and $60 for this. It is really pretty. Long sleeve, bubble sleeve. It's got buttons at the wrist. All right. All right, it looks like I did get one more vintage beanie. This one is Obermeyer Sport, and I did look up comps for this, but I could not find anything like this, new with tags. And they did have an Obermeyer Sport vintage sweater that had like a really pretty, not pretty, a really like fun vintage multicolored graphic on it with the spell out. But they wanted, I think, $20 for it. It was full price, and I couldn't find a single comp like that. So, you know, that may have been a mistake to leave that, but I had already found so much that day. I was like, I need to cut myself off. So they only wanted $5 for this Obermeyer beanie. So I definitely think I can profit on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's folded, but this is the vintage tag. It says made in USA, new with tags. Originally $16. And that was it for my thrift haul. I did get one personal item for myself. And that is this Tory Burch bag. I paid $30 for it. I don't know that I would have bought it for resale, but I've been telling you guys I really want to be a purse girly. Like, I feel like I'm going to be 34 in February. Like, I should probably learn to carry a purse. So I bought this just because it was such a good price. It's in decent condition. I'd give it like an 7.5 or 8 out of 10. There's a little bit of interior staining, a few scuffs on the outside, but overall, it's in good condition. So I did pick this up for myself. We'll see if I use it. If I don't use it, I'll sell it. And I'm sure that I could get a small profit for it, but Tory Burch doesn't go for what it used to, and it doesn't sell as quickly as it used to. So I probably wouldn't have paid $30 to flip that into like 50 or 60. So anyways, that is everything. I was a bad girl, and after I left this store, I went to a Goodwill as well and spent like 3 hours there and filled an entire cart. So I will have another haul for you guys coming soon from that trip. But let me know below in the comments what you guys think about my finds. I apologize again for the delay in videos. I'm going to try my hardest to stay on top of it, but I'm not making any promises because, like I said, it's busy town for me the next couple months. So I am filming this the week of Thanksgiving. So I think it should go out before Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, get to spend some time with friends and family. Or if that's not your thing, you get to spend some time by yourself. I have friends that do nothing on Thanksgiving, you know, to each their own. More power to you. So I will be spending it with my mother-in-law and the rest of my husband's family. I don't get to call home to Florida for Thanksgiving because I'm so busy at work, but I will get to go home. I have 9 days of PTO for Christmas after all my events are over, so I'm sure that I'll find time to go visit my family in Florida then. So anyways, hope you guys have a great holiday. If you are not already, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. We're always looking for new members of this little family community that we're building here. And if you liked this thrift haul or liked anything in it, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Hope you have a great day.